Well, I'm back again. Well, my live stream crashed on me. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. But I changed views and it just crashed on me. It does that sometimes. I don't know why. So I'm basically just making sure that there's no waxy stuff or polish or anything like that on the other side, because I need to get the silk screen on here now. I've already sandpapered this, so it should be very clean really, but you've got to make sure, haven't you? Well, after polishing the other side, I've no doubt there will be some wax on here. I'm sorry about the boring parts, but I'm slow, you know. People know I am slow. When you get to 48, oh no, 58, I keep forgetting. I keep knocking 10 years off my life. Maybe it's wishful thinking, I don't know. You slow down, downhill all the way. There was quite a bit of crap on there, because this tissue paper's kind of gone brownish or whatever. So I'm just going to fold that over. I can see some waxy bits on here still. This acetone should get rid of all of that. Okay, right, now I get my silk screen and I need to not touch that. Screwdriver, I need to lift that up, pull the edge, and I've got to match this up with the silk screen, which is here. You probably can't see too well. And I've got to put the trimmers in the right position. That's that way. That's that way. That's right. Yeah, I got this right. I just want to make sure there's no bits of crap on this paper. So I'm letting the light shine on down the edge to make sure. Now it's clean. Yeah, that's it, Hyde. I mean, yeah, you just, everything is an effort. It's like everything is twice the effort, isn't it? Yeah. Life's full of disappointments, and you just don't want to do it again and again and again. Right, okay, that's the right way around. And I need to line that up so that this is nearest the bottom of that edge of the board. So I've got to get this lined up right in the middle. I can touch this side now, by the way, because this side's already done. And I'm lining this up with the lines have got to be equal, the border lines have got to be equal on both sides, and if they're equal I should be bang on. And I've got the wrong glasses on again, that's why I'm struggling to see what I'm doing. Right, okay, I've got these reading glasses. These glasses are old, they're actually glass, they're real glass, and they belong to my granddad or my grandma, I don't know. But they're actually gold plated. This is actually gold plating. They're very old, and Well, I kind of inherited them when my dad died, and I don't know if they were grandmas or what, or granddads or what, but they work. They work. I tried them on actually when I found them, and I thought, oh my god, these are actually really good for reading. Because all my other glasses are crap for close-up electronic stuff. The others are just rubbish. But these work pretty well. Right, so if I get my Kapton tape on now, put this rubber on to hold it down. I'm going to hold this up to the light and make sure that I can see those components through. What's that? Whoop. The first time. What's that? What's Hacksaw talking about? Need to get that bit of paper off the edge there. Oh, because I put a bit of paper on. So I can find the edge, the end. I don't want that on. I've got a little wrinkle in there, I don't like that. That's better. That one went on cockeyed, but it doesn't matter. It's holding up now. Right, it's time to get the laminator ready again. Oops, I need to plug it in as well. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go and make coffee, because once I start doing this I can't. So I'll be back in a minute. Actually, I need to let this thing warm up. Right. Baby, good idea to turn it on before I go to make coffee. I got chocolate marzipan. Hi, did you by any chance see that 24,000 dots per inch blow up of that error? What a hassle I had with that. I tried 29,000 dots per inch and the bloody printer just jammed up on me. Oh, it's going. I thought it was making a creaking noise. Oh, it's hot. It's heated up already. Okay, we're ready. Oh, guess what I've forgotten to do? I've got my marzipan. Ritter Sport. Guess what I forgot to do? Trim these extra bits of cardboard off. Because it goes through faster if I don't have great big long lead-ins and lead-outs. Right, okay, we're ready. My chocolate. What time is it? Okay, it's 2:05. That means I've got to do this until about 2:30. That'll do probably. Are you still watching, Hyde? Camera's not exactly in a very good position, really. It's cockeyed, I don't know. Alright, I'll just straighten it up. Better? Okay. Well, if anyone hasn't got the link, I'll try and give them it, but Ah, that copper's hot. I think Chuck might come in at some point, and he usually asks for a link, doesn't he? So that's a link for Chuck when he comes in. If I'm still here. Be better if I hold it this way up, because then I won't burn myself on the copper. Because that copper is very hot, you know. Because it's exposed directly to the heat, the elements now, it kind of burns your fingers when you touch it. It's not so bad holding the paper. I had a hard time trying to scan that copper board because it's so shiny. The light just bounced off it and it made it look all weird and dark. And I couldn't get the light angle right in the laminate in the in the scanner. I just used a tissue paper to grab it, I think. So much better. it doesn't squeak anymore. That's weird. It used to squeak all the time, but it's not been doing it just in the last couple of times. I don't know why. Well, I'm not complaining. I don't like it when it squeaks. It made a little moan just then. It went, saying, I haven't gone yet, I'll come back and make a lot more noise if you want me to. So I'm going to wait for them collets. Actually, them collets should arrive on Monday. So if Alan asks, just tell him that I'm going to wait for them collets I've ordered. It should be Monday, and then I'm going to drill it with a new set of collets because they won't be wobbling all over the place, which my current collet does, which is really bad because I tried to fix it, but it's still wobbly. Oops, dropped me paper now. There's a few modifications, by the way, on the internet about how to make your laminator more effective for doing circuit boards. There's some techniques for slowing them down by changing the cogs and gears around so that they run even slower. But I couldn't do that with this one. And there was another technique where you could change the motor from full wave AC to half wave AC to slow the motor down, but then it wouldn't have as much torque, so that it might get jammed more quickly. That's the only problem. So I thought about doing that, but yeah, there might be another way of slowing it down actually by changing the frequency. Instead of having it running at 50 Hertz, I could drive it at say 24 Hertz, and that would make the motor run slower. So I might build a circuit, an AC circuit, mains circuit, to drive the motor at a slower speed. Then I could have a variable control knob at the front, have a variable control. Ironically, the laminator will probably laminate the circuit board that I use to drive it. That'll be interesting. So I was thinking about building a circuit which will divide the 50 Hertz frequency into 25 Hertz, and it would go through even slower, then I wouldn't have to do it like this for 25 minutes. I could probably do it in 10 minutes, you know, because it would be going through really slowly and it would heat up the board much more. You see. Actually, I might show you what's inside my laminator. I could take the screws out because I need to check it out anyway. When this is done, I could take the screws out and show you what's inside it, because I wanted to make sure there was no bits of tissue left in there, because I had a bit of an incident earlier with some tissue paper. I just wanted to double check everything is okay inside, nothing broken. There's nothing wrapped around the roller or anything. Because I'm wondering why it's not making that squeaky noise as well, but it suddenly stopped doing that, so I'm just wondering if the tension's the same. And actually I need to put some tissue around it as well to just to even the pressure, just to make sure. Now it's got nice and hot, so so I'm gonna God, that's hot. I'm gonna put this I want it to cool down. I'm gonna wrap this tissue around it like this. Oh, that tissue is too long now. Right. that tissue is a little bit too long actually. Well, another 5, or was it 7 minutes to go. I'll take this tissue off again. Oh, static. Oh, look at static. Ah! God, it's really static. Ah! Oh, ah, that's hot. One very iron, staticky. Just look at this, look, it's dancing around with static. Oh, yeah. Well, that's probably Alan. Oh, it's Z. Z-Man. Ouch. I'm getting little shiny spots on my fingertips. It's off the copper, it's just singeing my fingers. And Z can't watch me because he said he can't get Flash to work or something. I don't know, never mind. So another what, 4 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go. Actually, I'll turn the heat off now. Put it on cold. We'll just run on freewheel and let it cool slightly, because I think I've had it through enough times now. We'll just keep going until it cools a bit. Oh, that's not good. I've heard the first click of the first temperature thermostat. We're actually as good as done. I'm just waiting for this. I'm just letting it cool a bit. It's actually cooling down at the moment. It's set to cold. I don't think it's really cold. I think it's just lukewarm. But it's still cooling down. I'm actually going to put the cold iron on it again, because that cold iron idea seems to help. So basically I cool it down quickly with a cold iron. That's basically what I do, and it seems to help the because it's pressing down, it makes sure that the transfers don't get pulled off as it's cooling. I don't really need this paper anymore. It actually still feels quite hot, but think that's it. Right, so turn that off and see, put the iron on the copper side to cool it down. The iron is cold, so it's going to take the heat out of it. Yeah, it's not plugged in, you see, it's cold. I'm just soaking the heat out of the board now. Right, that's cooled. Yeah. Now turn it over and put my... I'm actually going to roll it on like I did earlier. I'm just going to get my roly-poly thingy. And put this iron away because I've just got so much clutter in here, I can't be doing anything more. So this basically should pop off just like it did last time when I sprayed it. Well, we'll find out, won't we? Let's try this. And I forgot to take the captain tape off again. Would help. I keep doing that, don't I? I'm getting clumsy. But this is just the board, the silk screen, so I'm not worried about a slight bit of smudging, if that's what happens. Right, paper should literally just fall off once I've got this soaked in. Now I'm going to squirt a bit on there as well, because I want it to come off. I'm not going to mess about with bloody water again, not with this, because it worked last time, so it should work this time. Right, let's have a look. There we go! Actually there's a bit on there, but it's still on there as well. It's just split it in half, that's all. It's on! It is on! Hide, it worked! I know it split the toner in, the toner split in half, but it's on the board. That's all that matters. It is on the board. Yay! So I'm going around with my cotton bud cleaning up now. It's on. I just need to let it dry a minute, then I'll go around with the thingy. Actually, I wonder if I can actually roll that muck off as well. I'll just try that actually. Will it roll the dirt off it? I'll try. Interesting. Huh. Well, it worked anyway. That still soaked through, but it'll dry out. Yeah. So anyway, my silk screen worked. Just needs a little bit of cleaning up. Nothing major. There's a little powdery effect on it which I can clean up. Yes, the silk screening worked. I'll get rid of that mucky cotton bud. A clean one. Right, so I'm just going to clean off this paper residue. I think some vinegar will help. I'm going to get a bit of vinegar, that should help a bit. Yes, a bit of vinegar seems to do wonders last time, so let's try it. Oh, it's coming up anyway. Bit of isopropyl alcohol and a bit of vinegar. Well, isopropyl alcohol and a small amount of acetone in it, by the way, yeah. And vinegar. And it doesn't squeak so much this time because the vinegar seems to have a lubricated, I can't say the word, lubricative effect. Oh, that's coming up really good. Am I still alive? Yeah. It seems to be drying out, so a bit more isopropyl alcohol and a bit more vinegar. I'll have to read the scroll back in a minute because I couldn't stop doing this side. Actually, I'll scan it when I've finished. Or actually, I'll take a photograph actually of it. Photograph seems to work better, really. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Actually, the scanner seems to work out with the silk screen, doesn't it? So I'll see in a minute. Right, I'm going to polish that up and it should be fine. Put a bit of beeswax on it. And some tissue, wipe the surplus off. There we go. Get my magnifying glass. I haven't polished it yet. There's some watermarks on the bloody board from the manufacturers, which is annoying. Those red marks are nothing to do with me. They were already on the board. Which is annoying. Just some more polishing to do. Nothing's come off, which is good. Let's check the alignment. Oh, perfect. Oh, that's good. Everything's lining up. Oh, I couldn't wish for anything better than that. Oh God. The resistors are perfectly lined up. Ah, that's amazing. I'll just see if I can... Right, you should be able to see the actual tracks behind those resistors. The actual tracks that line up with those resistors and the diodes. Trimmer, which is that kind of bucket shaped thing, and the transistors. Everything's absolutely bang on this time. Oh, my thumb's casting a shadow, hang on. Some of the writing's upside down, but that's, yeah, I could turn the board over, but I'll lose my place. Yeah. Everything's lined up bang on this time. Absolutely bang on. Oh, jolly ho! Playing the other side as well, because that acetate might have gotten through the hole, gone through the, well, around the edges. Yeah, that's good too. That's the best one yet. That is the best one yet. Some slight imperfection right on the edge at the top, but that's nothing. I can read that writing. Flipping heck, that writing's so tiny, I can read it. Okay, I'm going to scan it anyway. I'm not complaining. Let's move this out of the way. I was going to open this up actually, just to check inside. I might do that still. need to go down resolution a little bit because it'll be too big, so I'm going to go to 600 dots per inch. It's quicker. Don't need high resolution for this source screen. Perfect tool. Well, I'm gonna save it. Oh, let me just crop it a bit more. How big is that? Oh, I better go to the folder and have a look. Oh, I need to rotate it, hang on. Image rotate 90 degrees. So we get a horizontal view, it fills the screen more. Alright, wheel. Now I'm going to flip it round. I'm going to do rotating. Rotate. Right. Some of the actual letters are a bit faded, but I can still read them. Oh, that's good. That's good, really. I'm not complaining. How big is that now? 5.89 megabytes. It's a bit too big, so resize 70%. How big is it? Save it. Let's see now. 3.3, yeah, that'll do. Need to find where that one is. Alan's here, just in time. I need to catch up on the chat. Because I'm just about to fall asleep. Well, Alan, it's if you're watching, I recorded everything so you can go on live stream and watch everything that's happened. But good news is I did manage to get my chuck working, but it's wobbly. So I thought, well, I actually drilled that other board that you saw earlier, but I made another board with a switch on, but I'm going to wait for the switches to arrive, and they arrive on Monday, and then I'm going to be drilling this new board which I've just done, which is the little link in the chat. That's a silk spring, and so I'm going to drill this one on Monday. That's when the new collet should arrive. The new collets, and I've also ordered some new. I've also ordered a colletless chuck thing from China, but that's going to take a long time to arrive. I'm just catching up on the chat actually, because Z was chatting earlier and I missed a lot of it because I was busy finishing my silk screen lamination off because I was doing a new board, and I'm really happy with this other board. It's a lot better. I actually got some new. I ordered some new circuit board actually from ready-made circuit board from eBay, and it's actually slightly wider than the previous board, so it's better because my entire board fits on it, and instead of me missing a piece out. The only drawback was that the copper's a bit thinner by the sounds of it, because it's actually 2 microns thick instead of 4 microns thick, which I'm not happy about, but still it's good enough for what I'm using it for. It's not carrying a lot of current anyway, so hang on, let me just catch up on this chat a minute. Wow, so Z's made $3,000. Wow. On his BTQ. Is that Bitcoin? Wow. Just catching up on this chat. Yeah, there was some slight minor glitch on the sort screen, but it's nothing to worry about. It's certainly made me happy anyway, because the amount of population, the density, the amount of information I've got on this, the amount of information I've got on this sort screen is just, yeah, a lot. So there's bound to be a slight error somewhere. But I'm happy with it, because it could have been 70% bad, but it's not. It's like 0.1% bad. So I mean, I'm not complaining. So I'm still reading the chat. I'm still catching up on what Z was saying. Z left. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Hyde. Oh, sorry, Helen. I don't check the chat very often, because every time I look, there's nobody there. I'll bring it up. Hang on. Oh yeah, I can see you chatting now. I'll just zoom in and read it, because I didn't see it. Yeah, on Facebook. Yeah. Okay, I've read your message now. I didn't know it was there, so you see, this is the problem with live stream. It doesn't make any noises. It doesn't tell you. It doesn't actually tell you that somebody's left a message. That's the problem with it. That's the only thing I don't really like about it. But and the source screen is perfectly lined up. I'm going to save this stream anyway, so you can go and look at the magnification I did on it. But the actual silk screen is, I'll go back to the camera a minute. If you look at the alignment, get the magnifying glass a minute. Right, if I put the magnifying glass in front of it and you look at the alignment of the components with the silk screen, you'll see that they're actually perfectly lined up. That's with the light shining in the back. The diodes, the resistors, they're absolutely perfectly lined up, look, over the entire board this time. The IC is spot on in the middle. That's U3. See all the pins for the legs. That's lined up bang on in the middle. The diodes D5, D4, they're lined up. There was a little spottiness on some of the letters, but you can still read them, so that doesn't matter. And R23, that's bang on. Let's go to the top left hand corner, right up here, which is the far end, which is the other side. And you see those transistors as well. Also, the pinouts are lined up with them too. Q3 and Q4. You see the three dots at the back pads. And that trimmer there, variable resistor 3, that's lined up. So everything's lined up. so I'm not complaining. I had a little glitch at the top of the board on the copper, but and that red stuff is watermark on the actual circuit board. I couldn't get rid of it. It's embedded in the resin. It was a watermark by the manufacturer of the copper clad board, so I couldn't get rid of it. There's red blotches and they're all over the place. It's the watermark. Yeah. I got rid of some of it, I think, but I couldn't get rid of it all for some reason. It must have been embedded in the resin or something. You can even read the duty cycle. And the tiny writing right at the top. Let's get it on here. You should be able to read it if I get the light on it right. Here, it's actually got copper behind it, so it's hard to see it. You can see my name, well, the date. There's a bit of copper at the back of it on the other side, so you can't really see light behind it very well, but you can read it, the date. I'll see if I get the light on the front and you see it. Oops, that's bright now. Right, there we go, you can read that. I actually made it smaller. There's a little bit of papery stuff residue left on it, but that's not really relevant. You can't really see it when it's normal. It's just a tiny bit. It'll wear off with my finger over time. So yeah, I was going to actually take my laminator apart because I wanted to give it a quick check over to make sure there's nothing got. There's nothing wrong with my laminator. I just want to unscrew it just to give it a quick check over because it's had a bit of hammer. Can't find the screwdriver. Yeah, right, I'm just going to open up my laminator because I want to double check something, because it was squeaking quite a bit before, now it's not, and I wanted to make sure there's nothing inside that's cracked or anything, because it's, I mean, putting these circuit boards through this laminator, it puts it under a lot of strain, you know. I have had it apart before because I had to make a slight modification to the rollers so that they wouldn't actually be clamping too tightly on the board because it would jam up, you see, so I'll loosen them a bit. That's one of the things you need to do if you get a laminator to actually do circuit boards, is go inside and put some packing under the clamps to loosen the rollers a little bit so that they aren't biting too tightly, because they're designed to pinch on paper really. That's why I mentioned to somebody recently, I said if you're going to buy a laminator, buy the cheapest one you can buy, because they're not designed to do circuit boards. And if you do circuit boards, you need to make slight adjustments to the laminator. Right, here we go. Right, you can see what's inside it now. That's the lid. These are the plastic things that squeak. The circuit board goes through, there's a bit of plastic there, look, where it's been rubbing. That's probably why it stopped squeaking, because there's a bit of plastic burr come off. So that's the top. Here's the heating element, and there's the motor. It's not plugged in, by the way. That's the motor that drives everything. There's a gear mechanism down there. This is a circuit board that controls it. There's a fuse. That's a rectification circuit. These rollers are rollers and heating elements. This particular one is the Royal, you can probably find it online still. The one I'm using is Royal Sovereign. It's the Royal Sovereign laminator. And what you have to do is you have to loosen up the, this is an anti-jam lever when it jams. Right, it basically disengages the motor so you can, and the roller, so you can actually pull something out if it's jammed, but you usually have to pull it back actually. But you can't really see the rollers very well, but you can see them from the back. Those are the red things. The red things are the rollers. Oh look, there's a bit of Captain tape. That's why I needed to open it up, because there was something in it. Now, the rollers, what you have to do, they sit in these little slots in the bottom of the case, right? Now what I did was, you can lift the whole lot up. The whole lot lifts out, right? And it's got there's 3 thermostats. There's one for cold, one for medium heat, and one for really hot. And they all go off sequentially, one by one. These are the thermostats. Anyway, what I did was I lifted this up and I put some packing underneath because it was a bit low down. So what was happening was the board was going in and it had to go down and then it had to go up and it was jamming. So what I did was I took this out and I put some packing underneath the where it sits in the bottom of the case so that it rose the whole thing up a little bit, because this end just lifts up, look. Now there's actually some foam rubber. There's actually some foam rubber underneath the legs. If you look, you can see that. There's a bit of foam rubber I've put underneath there. It's just a bit of sticky foam. That lifted this whole mechanism a little bit higher so it wouldn't jam up when I put my circuit board in. That's something you might want to consider if you ever decide to get yourself a laminator. And the first thing you do if you get a laminator is to try it and find it jams and you think, oh that's no, it doesn't work. Well, it's simple. You just need to adjust it, adjust the height of the rollers so that they're not going to pull the board down and then try to push the board up, because you can't bend a circuit board. You can bend a piece of paper that you're laminating, but you can't bend a circuit board. It has to go in straight and come straight out, and that's why it squeaks a bit as well. So you need to elevate it and get it the right height. And that is really, this thing is still quite hot actually. It's surprising actually. It's been off for about an hour, and it feels like my hot cup of coffee which is going cold. Tell you something, if you touch this when it was on, it's got a warning symbol on the top. Fire, it means this part gets extremely hot. But that's really all I've adjusted in it, really. Oh, I think I might have slackened the screws on the rollers that clamp the two halves. There's 2 rollers in this, one roller on the top, there's one roller at the bottom. I think I loosened the screws a little bit to allow it to expand a bit easier, because yeah, otherwise it can jam, and if that happens the motor can burn out. Pretty hefty motor really, and it doesn't look like my gears are damaged. They look okay. I've had a few instances where it's sounding like the gears are slipping, but that might be in the motor itself. But yeah, I really need to just make a circuit for this so I can adjust the frequency so I can slow it down. That would, instead of running at 50 Hz, have it running at say 30 Hz or 25 Hz to actually slow it. It's a synchronous motor, and synchronous motors, you can control the speed by the frequency, so it's possible to slow these down, but you can't slow them down by reducing the voltage. That's what people don't understand. You can divide the frequency of the 50 Hz into half cycle wave, which is 25 Hz, or a 60 Hz to 30 Hz, you could divide the frequency, but they make a lot more noise because they're not getting a proper full sine wave. But anyway, that's what's in my laminator. Not a lot in it. Anyway, I've got that bit of sticky tape out that was in there, which I was worried that something had got jammed in it, and it doesn't appear to be. Yeah, it's all looking good, so I'm going to put this back together. There's not a lot to see really. One, two, three, four, 6, 7. There's 8 screws in the. Oh, that one stuck to my finger. I need to. Where's my screwdriver gone? Oh, it's down here. Oh, that's the point. Yeah, I never tighten these up much either. I don't, because I think this also helps. This also clamps the mechanism down, so it's best to leave the screws just a little bit loose, because it pushes the top down. I just tighten them up, then I back them out about half a turn. When I've finished putting it together, I'm going to just do a test run with cold to make sure I haven't buggered anything up. You know, if I've got it too tight, it'll jam. It could jam. Right, let's just run it again. But I'm going to put it through cold. Because if I don't, I'm going to melt my transfers, my silk screen off. It's on cold. I'm just going to put it through cold. It's all looking good. It's cold. It's not going to burn anything. Come out. It's not even warm, and it didn't jam, so it's all right. I wonder if they still sell those on eBay. find it and show you, because they're very good. They work for me, so they should work for you. As if they're doing the same model. Let's find it. There we go. Oh, looks like they've changed the design a bit. So you don't find one like mine. Mine's a dual roller. Let's just search dual. Let's have a look at two. That's the one, but it's just a different. They've got a different case style on it. £30, not bad. Yeah, they've changed the buttons on it apparently. It's still got the cold. They do it by microns actually, but the thicker micron is hotter actually, because it has to be. It's either hotter or it runs through slower. I'm not sure. Well, it must be hotter because the other thermostat kicks in, so it must be on a higher heat. But because they've changed the design, I can't speak. I can't give my assurance as to whether or not it's going to still be compatible, because they might have changed. They might have changed the guts inside it. I don't know. But on the other hand, they might have just changed what it looks like on the outside. I've had mine for about a couple of years. Oh, let's see. I'll tell you what, I would. That's the one. That's the one. Yeah, that's mine. Yeah, if you can get that, I'd get it, because I tell you something, you can't go wrong with that machine. It does a good job of laminating. You just have to be patient. It takes you 25 minutes, but I tell you, what's 25 minutes when it saves you a fortune having to get someone else to do it for you, you know, or waiting for weeks for someone to deliver your board which you've ordered. You know, it's nothing, is it? But 25 minutes is nothing, you know, to laminate one side of your board. And yeah, that's the one. As I say, if you follow what I told you about loosening up the screws and lifting up the heating elements by a bit of foam underneath, you can't go wrong. It'll work. That's the first thing you have to do, is to adjust it, so it's not too tight. And you keep the circuit board in the middle as well. Don't put it near the ends, because if you put it near the edge of the roller, it will jam. Because I've got a little, I think you saw that little line I drew on the laminator. I just keep the board right in the middle, and I don't put my board through sideways. I put it through endways. So I don't think you can do really big circuit boards in it, but let's face it, who does big circuit boards? Maybe Russ does, but I don't. There might be ways of loosening it up a bit more to do bigger circuit boards. I think there probably is, but I'm happy with the way it is. I like to have a lot of pressure on my board, and if you loosen it too much, you're not going to get the rolling pressure. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'll just show you what I mean again. Hang on. I'll put it in the bag now, but I'll just show you again what I mean. Hang on. Because most people, I mean, let's face it, if you're buying a laminator, you don't know what laminator is going to work, because not all laminators will do a circuit board. They'll just jam up on you. But there's ways around it. But what I've done is measured a piece of paper on here, right, and that is 60 millimeters from the end. Actually no, it's from the aperture. It's 50 millimeters from the aperture, from the opening, from that end. So it's 50 millimeters from that opening to that line, and as long as I put my circuit board in that way, it's fine. But I can go this way a bit, and I can go a bit more this way. But if I put my circuit board in like that, it jams up, and I don't know why, because it's not going too far. It might be because it's trying to do too much, I don't know. But it works fine if you're using a standard circuit board, which is about what, 70 millimeters wide. It works fine. I mean, if you're going to make a big board, if you're going to make a board bigger than that, then you probably need to get a bigger laminator. I don't know, but it works for me anyway. I'm just telling you what I'm using. So I'm using circuit boards that are about 70 millimeters wide, and these, well, it doesn't matter about the length, but well, the longer they are, the colder they're going to get when they come out the other side anyway. But the length is 100 millimeters, so I'm basically using 70 millimeters by 100 millimeter boards, and I get really good results, as you can see. So I mean, you can't go wrong for 30 quid for that, really. You know. You could probably modify it to do bigger boards as well, but I just haven't bothered. I haven't needed to yet. And my carrier bag is, I'm trying to put these, I keep this in the carrier bag to keep it clean, because when you're doing circuit boards, it's got to be very clean. You know, you don't want muck or any dust in there, so I keep it wrapped up when I'm not using it. But the toner and the acetone and the isopropyl alcohol, it seemed to split the toner in half, because most of it was on the board. Oops. The majority of it went on the board, but it seemed to split some of it, because some of it is on the paper, but it's actually split, if you know what I mean. It hasn't failed, it's just divided it. Because there's a bit on the paper and there's a bit, most of it's on the board though, which is good. You can actually see. Oh, that's the wrong end, I think. No, that's right end. It's mirrored. Those are capacitors. Now these components at this end over here, they're a little bit faded over there, but they're still there. There was just a bit on there. Anyway, it's because this particular board, what happened was, when I sprayed it with the toner and the acetone and the isopropyl alcohol. I forgot to with the tape off, didn't I? So I was fighting about taking the tape off, and during that time it melted a bit. That's why. That's the only reason. I got a bit on the paper still. So, and the board, Heidnick's got the. I had the link. Let me just find it. It should be in the chat. Oh, I found it. Right. There we go. That's the circuit board, copper side. But you can see that anyway. It's come out good. So I'm going to wait for those other collets to come, and then I'm going to drill it, because I've still got to wait for the switches anyway. They'll probably won't get it till Monday, and those are going to go over here. That's one switch actually. Yeah, I'll be pissed if it doesn't fit. It should do though. I've got the footprints pretty much right. Anyway, it's actually a lot better on the camera than it is on the scan, because the scan reflects the light and you don't actually see it properly. When the light's reflecting off the board, you can see it the way it's supposed to do, but the scanner seems to show it kind of dark, you know. You can't get the light from the scanner beam reflected properly, you know. That's the problem when you're scanning shiny surfaces. You know, it's like trying to photo scan a blooming mirror. You can't. Yeah. So this is actually wider board as well, so it's better. Because I've got all of the name on. Instead of missing a piece out, it was all on there this time. Anyway, I've been awake for like 23 hours, I think. I lost count now. So I'll be off to sleep soon. Oh my god, one day, 21 minutes I've been awake. That's 24 hours and 21 minutes. Oops. Oh well. Yeah, the white powder bits is just where there's a bit of residue still left, over, but that's now it'll wear off. You know, where the letters are a bit white or grey, that's where there's a bit of residue still left from the paper. That'll rub off. see that they're even a different colour actually, the boards are. I like this lighter colour. This newer board, it's a different colour, and I like the lighter colour. It makes the out more, so you can see the difference. I've drilled this other one. I took two of the pins out, as I say, because they were for compensation. I didn't want to. I had a bit of a conflict on the back, so I've sorted that out anyway. But I thought, well, I'm not going to build that one. I'm just going to wait until the other bits arrive, and I'm just going to build this one. I just wanted to test this one out. I drilled it, and anyway, this board's lighter. It's a lot better. It's more contrasting. You can read it a lot easier. And some of the components arrived today, which is the trimmers. These are the, I think these are the 500k trimmers. There's about 10 in there, I think. They arrived. I've got the 100k trimmers as well, so I've got those. I've got my regulators, which are in here. There's I think there's 10. 7, 8, L, 12, 10. I'm waiting for the 50 milliamp trip fuse, PTC fuses to arrive. And these are the shocky diodes that are in this bag. So I've got all the shocky diodes. They've got a voltage drop of, they read 0.2 ohms on the meter, so they've got a voltage drop of, I think, about what, 0.3 volt or something, which is pretty good. You can't really see them properly in there. I'll have to put the light behind. About, I think there's 12 or 10 or something. More than enough. So I've got those, and I'm just waiting for a few more bits. I've got resistors and everything, and the tips, and tip 21, tip what do you call it? Tip 1, tip 212, and you know, I've got all those transistors and everything. It's just a few bits I'm waiting for. I can't seem to roll this up now. That's why. Oh. Right. Yeah, the staple this together when it arrives, so I stuck some tape on it. I don't like staples. Right. So anyway, you can see the difference in the boards, can't you, with the colour. I definitely like this other board colour, it's a lot better. Actually, I'll put a tissue underneath there. It makes it stand out more. You can see the size difference when I put them on the when I put the edges together like this. The new board is wide, is a bit wider. I don't know if you can see that. Light's probably a bit too close. is why I use the new board, because this new board stock is just a bit wider and perfect, because I didn't lose any of my detail like I did on the other one. Oh, I need to save this stream, I think. Yeah, it's about 2 millimeters wider, I think. I think it's 2 millimeters. Actually, I'd be interested to measure that, because I think it was 1 millimeter, but I think it's 2. Let's measure that. No, it's actually 1 millimeter. It's 1 millimeter wider. And that makes a heck of a difference when you actually lose your the name thing off the edge, because that name, that top line, that well put dual frequency oscillator, that was 1 millimeter wide. Just about tall, 1 millimeter tall, I should say. Alright, Alan, are you going? Well, I'll be off soon anyway. I'm just winding down now. I'll put all this over on my table. Okay, good night. I'm going to save this stream now.